Tonight, in-depth coverage of the complex issue that is child abuse in our community. KXLY4's Caroline Flynn spoke to some of the workers on the front lines in the daycare center and one who even worked at Caiden's daycare center. Drew Reeves tells us about resources for people in need of quality child care regardless of their ability to pay. Caroline Rourke finds out what first responders see firsthand when it comes to child abuse. But first, let's go to Good Morning Northwest anchor Robin Nance. She is the moderator of tonight's forum. Robin?
Nadine, thank you so much. This is a really important evening here in Spokane. It is about change, and it all came about, as you mentioned, by tiny Caiden Henry. And he is really spurring this movement. It is about you don't have to live through child abuse. We all, as a community, can do something about it, and we're going to do something about it tonight. This room will be filled in about an hour and a half with some very important people and everyday people who really want to spur change. And you know, speaking of Caiden Henry, before this tragedy, Caiden spent a lot of time with a child care worker right here in Spokane. KXLY4's Caroline Flynn happens to be standing right next to me. And Caroline, you spoke with that woman who has really been inspired to make change here because of him.
Absolutely. And Amber Crosby, she's with Planet Kids. She says she wants to be a voice for children like Caiden who can't stand up and defend themselves. Working in childcare for more than a decade has given Amber Crosby the chance to work with lots of kids. But there was something so special about Caiden James.
Everything about him, his eyes, his sparkle, his smile.
For 8 months, 5 days a week and 8 hours a day, Amber and Caiden grew close.
Learning and bonding and growing and just doing amazing things, you know, learning to sit, building our muscles.
But Caiden's mom couldn't afford to keep him there. Amber was sad, but she's used to it.
Childcare is a mortgage payment.
She never anticipated what was to come. Caiden's mom had a coworker's husband watch the little boy. Police say Caiden died at that man's hands. Now Amber is turning her grief into action.
I feel like if we had more resources and more help out there for that, you know, for childcare expenses, it might make it easier for those single parents who are struggling so much.
She isn't alone. Daycare facilities across the state have been working toward the same goal. At Spokane's Little Rascals Child Care Center, the state pays some care for 90% of the kids.
It's hard to keep your doors open when you're solely relying on money from the state.
Amber knows change will not come overnight, and as she continues to fight, she's keeping Caiden close to her heart.
I had somebody drop a twinkle, twinkle, little star, and then I didn't know what I would do after that. And one day I just was like, in my heart, you always are. He's kind of always just like my little star.
And Robin, you know, one more thing that Amber is looking for is child care centers with longer hours. She says as a working mother herself, she's constantly racing out the door from her job at 6 o'clock to get to another place to pick up her kids that closes at the exact same time.
And that's hard. A lot of places charge you by the minute. And how do people afford that? Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think a lot of great discussions are going to happen here tonight.
Absolutely. Caroline, thank you so much.